LA's hottest psychic, Shar, Monday at 7:30.
This is Channel 7, the #1 station for news and information in Southern California. And now Eyewitness News with Jerry Dunphy, Christine Lund, Johnny Mountain with the weather, Ted Dawson with sports, and the Eyewitness News team.
From the desert to the sea to all of Southern California, good evening. Here's the latest at 11. A woman is in critical condition tonight after two men threw her off a bridge into oncoming traffic on the Hollywood freeway. It happened just over an hour ago at the Alvarado Street Bridge. The woman was still conscious when police arrived at the scene. They say she told them two men threw her off the bridge and she was hit by at least one car. The woman, a Latino in her 30s, was rushed to Queen of Angels Hospital where she has internal injuries and multiple fractures. Police are looking for two male Latinos, both in their 20s. They say they still don't know what the motive was for the brutal attempt on that woman's life. Christine.
Jerry, the Los Angeles police force tonight warns from now on officers will only respond to emergency, life-threatening calls during the peak crime hours. Police say that because of budget cutbacks and escalating crime at the same time, there just are not enough officers on the street to handle all the calls. And they warn that the busiest times are tonight and they are Saturday night, when more calls for help are made than any other time. But when it's clear someone's life is in danger, they will respond.
I anticipate that if someone were to call the police and say that we have a robbery in progress or a burglary in progress, that we would do everything we could to dispatch a radio car immediately to that location, and that would obviously assist us in apprehending the criminal. On the other hand,
this may not sound right, but we want to stress to you that it is. If your house has been robbed, police say you will probably have to go to the station yourself and file a report. An elderly Van Nuys man on Social Security was so concerned about crime himself that he put up $500 in airfare for a guest speaker tonight. San Fernando Valley residents got together to hear the controversial methods of Little Rock, Arkansas Sheriff Tommy Robinson. He's gotten nationwide attention for his tough policies.
We have two phases of the program. Phase 2 I will not tell you about until we get caught, but in Phase 1 we're posting a large warning sign, deputy with a double-barrel shotgun, saying, "Warning, this business participates in the Sheriff's Department anti-robbery program. If you come into this store, deadly physical force may be used against you." We station deputies in the back room with shotguns. We did away with radar and only rewarded our officers for going after criminals. We have a new anti-armed robbery program. We had a rape prevention seminar teaching females how to make their bedrooms a safe area, how to safely fire their weapons.
Robinson claims his methods have reduced robberies by 50%. Jerry.
Well, if you're planning to do a lot of driving this weekend, you'll be glad to know the gasoline price war is continuing in the Southland. That's good for you because of the recent oil glut. Prices are down in a lot of areas. Tonight we went to North Hollywood, where gas at the Good Sense station cost just over $1.17 for unleaded, and it was down to $1.11 for regular. That's on Sherman Way. Nearby at the Arco station, gas was down at about $1.13 for regular and $1.18 for unleaded. Other stations in the area have good bargains, too. Most of those stations are self-serve stations, we should tell you. President Reagan tonight blasted critics of his economic program in a speech to his most loyal supporters. The President and Mrs. Reagan were greeted warmly when they arrived for dinner with the Conservative Political Action Conference, and members warmed to his tough talk against his critics.
If our opponents want to go to the American people next fall and say, "We're the party that refused to cut spending, we're the party that tried to take away your tax cuts, we're the party that wanted a bargain basement military and held a fire sale on national security," let's give them all the running room they want.
And did they love it? The President was interrupted more than 20 times by applause, and he promised he'd not back down from his program of deep budget cuts and more money for the military. Christine.
Some of those cuts, of course, very unpopular. When we got the ones that were going to affect our Coast Guard rescue operations, a hue and cry. But here's this development. Congressional pressure has saved local Coast Guard search and rescue operations from the governmental acts, at least for the time being, we should stress. Because of it, the air station here in Los Angeles and the search and rescue facilities at San Pedro, Marina del Rey, and Newport Beach will not be closed, and they will not be reduced. The Reagan administration had planned to shut down 15 Coast Guard stations in 11 states and reduce the operations at 16 more, and those projected cuts, we can tell you, have now been canceled, and in fact, they saved a lot of lives here in Southern California. Jerry.
Yeah, close does count, Chris, particularly where the FAA is concerned. The Federal Aviation Administration tonight is investigating a near miss between two planes at John Wayne Airport. Yesterday, an Air Cal jet like the one we're going to show you right here, this one, had just taken off when the pilot saw a small single-engine Cessna near his plane. The Air Cal pilot quickly pulled up on his stick and went above the small plane, avoiding a collision. 158 passengers were aboard that Air Cal flight. Nobody was injured in either plane, but you can betcha they're investigating that right now. White House Press Secretary James Brady, shot in the head in last year's assassination attempt of President Reagan, filed a $46 million damage suit today against accused assailant John Hinckley, Jr. Brady was released from the hospital 8 months after the March 30th shooting and still has very limited use of his left arm and leg. His lawyer says the $46 million amount that Brady is seeking is an estimate of the damages caused to his client.
Jerry, coming up next, Bill Press wonders why sex and television ratings seem to go together so often. And we will get together with Johnny Mountain for the Southland's weekend weather forecast. Johnny's next up.
KABC. You got Ken and Bob to start your day. Dodger baseball, play-by-play.
Michael Jackson, Tony Grant on call.
Sports talk's on the ball for you. Carol's got it all for you. Ira winding up. Ray Bream winding down. 79, yeah, that's where we shine. We are your KABC Direct Connection.
Right now, Bill Press turns a critical eye on our own industry, television, and the jockeying that goes on during what we call the ratings period.
A note to bird watchers, all this month you can see the courtship display of the snowy egret. A note to TV watchers, you don't have to go that far. You can see the same plumage right here on Channel 7 and all the other channels. Birds, people, mating, rating, it's all the same. Sex. On Channel 7, a peek at porn star John Holmes. On Channel 11, tips from the LA Vice Squad. And on Channel 2, a penetrating expose of high-priced call girls. It happens every February. The mating game, the rating game. You tune in, we come on. You turn on. It turns me off.
Oh, please don't turn off, Bill.
Hold it just a second.
Turn it back on.
We're not finished.
That's right.
All right.
We got to check on the weather first of all. Say, John, for heaven's sakes, don't let them turn those sets off, please.
No, we're not going to do that at all.
All right.
I have ready to give them a booster shot of dull right now to make sure that we don't have any of that for the next about 2 minutes. We're going to talk about a nice weekend for everybody. It'll be much better than it must be a religious show. I'm speaking in tongues. I'll try to pick a language that we all know, okay? Here we go. How about English? I don't know. Look, we're going to have a better weekend this weekend in terms of temperature than we did last weekend. Now, what I was trying to say, last weekend it was very hot. But let's take a quick look at weather all the way across the country. I'll try to tell you about it. Let's go to the videotape. We have snow from Texas all the way into Oklahoma, from Oklahoma into Arkansas, up to a foot of snow. From Tennessee into Kentucky, I'll give me a break, guys. On into the Virginia, snow is between 1 and 2 inches, up to 3 inches in the higher elevations, and rain showers in Biloxi, Pensacola. And what happens when an elephant doesn't brush? His Tuscaloosa! All right, yes, rain showers there. All right, all around the southeastern portion of the country. Oh, good. Let's go to our latest satellite picture. You see it located right there. A few high clouds that will be coming around the area over the weekend. And very quickly, move on over. Rain showers continue in the southeast. We have our high weather pressure here for us and some showers in Washington and Oregon. Let's get to the forecast right now before we get backed up on time and we're working sermonette. Here we go with the forecast for tomorrow. Low clouds along the coastal area, high clouds and mild temperature both on Saturday, then on Sunday. Let's check out some of those tips right now. Okay, but you can't keep them too long or we'll repossess your library card. Here we go with the 55 hour low, warming up to the 60s somewhere tomorrow. Riverside 40, and we'll be warming up into the 60s. Mountains 30, and 52 will be the high. It is 59 degrees right now. So we just got out of this in time, if I can give it back to you guys. Okay,
Oh,
good
we're
weekend.
not ready yet. Please don't.
I just don't know how you save that one, really.
Yes, that's
No
right.
kidding.
So tough. All right,
John?
anybody, have a good weekend.
You've been
Now
funnier,
we
but
will.
I can't remember
Thank
when. Coming up, Ted Dawson in sports. The Red Hot Lakers take the 76ers into an incredible double overtime finish, and the Ram cheerleaders try out for a different kind of team. More on that. Johnny's gone.
Tonight in North Hollywood, 20 L.A. Rams cheerleaders were trying out for a month-long USC tour to U.S. veterans hospitals and the American military bases in the Caribbean. The 6 who are picked will put on an elaborate hour-and-a-half-long variety show involving singing and dancing and other stage acts. And 6 of these multi-talented women will have just finished a similar tour to Alaska we can tell you about, and that one was very successful. They are going to do it again. Well, I lost my voice screaming for the Lakers.
Let me tell you,
Glad
talk
you're
about
gonna do this.
cheers,
Oh,
right? Here's
unbelievable.
Ted Dawson now to lead one for the Lakers 76ers game, no matter who wins.
Well, I'll tell you, Dunn, you fasten your seatbelts, because I'll guarantee you that you will never find a game any more exciting than the Lakers against Philly tonight at the Forum. Let's you and I go right to the action. A sold-out crowd came to see who else? Julius Erving, and this is what they saw. How about that? But they also saw the doctor do his thing on offense. The 76ers go up by 13 points. But the Lakers then turn on the defense. Kareem with the block. Woo! All right, now watch this. Magic to Cooper to Kareem, slam dunk, and we're tied at 51 at the half. Billy Cunningham is not at all pleased. He's even less pleased as the Lakers put on a drive together in the third. Back to Kareem. Watch this. It's 63-57. Kareem with the ball again. Turns around, looks, follow-away jump shot. Yes, Lakers go up by 13. But little Andrew Toney, watch him here, brings Philly back. 16 points in the fourth. This three-pointer, we're tied at 83. Closing minutes of the game, and Philly goes to the doctor. He puts it up. It's 94-91 Philly. Lakers need a bucket. Kareem to Wilkes, no. Jamal grabs the rebound, back up. Yes, it's 94-93. 2 seconds left. You see the score. Kareem has 41 points. We go overtime. With the crowd going wild, we pick it up in double overtime. Nixon on the fast break. Behind his back to Jamal. Got it. It's 111-107. After Toney cuts it to 2, Magic gives to Kareem, back to Magic on the give and go. Yes! Lakers lead 115-111. One of the most exciting games I have ever seen as the Lakers hold on to win 116-114. We got these post-game comments.
That time with that shows the character of the Philadelphia team. They came right back and scored 2 buckets right on us, and it took the big guy to come in and take it on home. He played a tremendous game tonight, and you know, there isn't anything else you can say about it.
What were you doing on Jay to hold him down so much, particularly in the first half?
Well, I was praying a lot. I was trying to deny him the ball, trying to keep him, push him further out from the basket, and we were doing a lot of double teaming on him.
Evaluate Kareem's performance.
Awesome, awesome, awesome.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Other scores tonight. You see it. Seattle and Phoenix get Pacific Division wins. Elsewhere, Boston and New Jersey get the victories, while Moses had 43 for Houston. Indiana gets the upset. Chicago and Washington win close ones. Let's go to Gill Arena in Corvallis, Oregon. Pac-10 leader Oregon State is out for revenge against UCLA. The feed goes inside to Charlie Sitton. Reverse layup. Oregon State leads 8-4. The Bruins try to come back. Darren Day to Kenny Fields. He led UCLA with 12. He hits. It's 14-10 Beavers. But Sitton steals the ball from Mike Sanders to Oregon State freshman A.C. Green. There he goes. Slam dunk. Oregon State by 8. Now, Sitton inbounds to Danny Evans. 20-footer, yes. Oregon State by 12. Lester Connor is tied up to Evans again. Ugh, how about that? Danny Evans scores 26 points, and Oregon State hands UCLA its first loss in 13 games and clinches a tie for the Pac-10 championship. Much better luck for USC and Eugene tonight. The Trojans win at 80-68. Let's go to the sports arena where Crenshaw in white is in against Carson in the L.A. City semis. Kevin Hamilton gets this rebound for 2. Then Carson's all-city star Eldridge Hudson goes to work, drives, great no-look pass to Doug Brown, goaltending. Hudson adds a free throw late in the game to end up with a game-high 34. And with that kind of scoring, Carson upsets perennial power Crenshaw 70-53 to move into the city for a semifinals. Carson will play the winner of the Banning-Gardena game. You see it going on right now. That's still going on. Cleveland and Jordan tonight won 3A games. Finally tonight, the Dodgers have made a move to end the Fernando contract deadlock. Owner Peter O'Malley called early this morning about 8:15 to set up a meeting for Sunday afternoon with Fernando and his agents. O'Malley apparently is ready to make some move to get Fernando in camp, and I think that some move is about the only thing Fernando has been wanting. We'll see. That is a wild look at sports. You have yourself a good weekend.
Oh, I can't get any more exciting than that. Really, and that was fantastic coverage you put together for us. Thank you very much, Ted. Still ahead, Tony Little shows us where and how to rub elbows with the stars. Stay with us. The 20th Winter National Car Show opened to a packed house tonight at the Los Angeles Convention Center. Our Larry Carroll was there. He told us he couldn't believe what he was seeing. Let us take a look.
How about a former Datsun Mini pickup truck with a parquet load bed and a waterfall and a train? Or the 3-year project of a tailor from Lawndale who built this 8-wheeled van with 8 headlights called 8 is Enough.
Started out as a short wheelbase Dodge van and added the, extended the rear, added another axle on the back, and showed it like that for a year. Took class champions and then decided that we wanted something completely new for this year, so we added the front.
What are you going to do with this next, do you think?
Just drive it, keep it.
You're going to keep it?
Oh, yeah.
What do you think is the trade-in value of something like this?
I don't know. We was offered $65,000 and he turned it down.
As if that were not enough, there are about 350 other specimens of reborn automotive machinery on hand this weekend for display and competition, all of which have one thing in common. They aren't today what they used to be.
Looking for detail in the engine compartment, bodywork, interior, undercarriage, and overall quality. Basically, the overall effect of the vehicle on what has been done in modification-wise of the vehicle to change it other than stock.
You might think at first blush that this 33 Ford Roadster proves the adage that simple is beautiful, but in fact it's not as simple as it might look. Every part on this car, just about, was handmade. It cost over $100,000 to customize, and at one point was judged the most beautiful roadster in the world. If Henry Ford could only see it now. Larry Carroll, Channel 7 Eyewitness News at the Los Angeles Convention Center.
Folks having fun down there. Well, tonight, Tony Little wraps up her special look at L.A.'s exclusive nights where the stars go to have fun at night. Tony.
Okay, well, Jerry, you know, with the Grammy Awards ceremony this week, a lot of famous singers were in town to celebrate, and maybe you saw a few of your favorites at a restaurant or club. But coming up is possibly Hollywood's biggest night. In March, the Academy Awards will take place, and that means that people like Warren Beatty, Diane Keaton, you name it, may end up at one of L.A.'s favorite night spots. The Academy Awards ceremony draws the rising stars and the superstars. People like Mary Tyler Moore, Peter O'Toole, and Timothy Hutton. Curious fans line up for hours outside the Dorothy Chandler Pavilion to gaze at the dazzling parade. And after the show, there are dozens of parties to celebrate Oscar's big night at places like Morton's, the Polo Lounge, and Chasen's, where even on a quiet night, you'll find some paparazzi looking for the stars.
I look for them in the restaurants like Chasen's, La Scala, or any of the other restaurants right in the Beverly Hills area. Or I'll find out about events that are at the hotels, the Hilton, the Century Plaza, the Beverly Hills Hotel.
Another favorite spot is Ma Maison, where the parking lot often looks like a Rolls-Royce showroom, and where you might find Lily Tomlin enjoying a 2-hour dinner. You'll find her there, that is, if you know the restaurant's unlisted phone number. The same night Lily was there, so was Merv Griffin, who remembered how Hollywood used to celebrate.
Years ago, I used to play Ciro's on the Sunset Strip, and I used to play the Coconut Grove, but that kind of nightlife is all gone. What's taken over is you have a choice between an intimate restaurant and your jacuzzi.
Well, one thing for sure, no matter how you spend your nights, you no longer have the excuse that there's nowhere exciting to go. You can't say that anymore. We've told you about a lot of places where the stars go to have fun, and whether or not your favorite celebrity is out the same night you are, you're still bound to have a good time. You are, I promise. Chris.
We know where they all are right now. Where? At home watching Eyewitness News,
right.
aren't they?
Call them up.
All right.
Certainly hope so.
Certainly do hope so, yes indeed. Next up, we're going to take a look at where to stay on a pocket-pleasing escape to San Diego. Next up. Reporter John Buchan wraps up his series on San Diego tonight with a few tips on where to stay and where to play.
San Diego has a lot of good hotels for all budgets. If you like double knits, you'll probably like a section just off the freeway called Hotel Circle, filled with, you guessed it, many rooms are in the mid-20s. 10 minutes away, there's downtown. One standout here, the Little America Westgate, always a 5-star hotel with prices to match. But if I had the money in San Diego, I'd choose the old Hotel del Coronado, or the Del as it's known around here. Built in the 1880s, she maintains grace, plenty of resort activities, with rooms starting at about $60 a night. Now for the nightlife in San Diego. Downtown is picking up, but frankly, not that much yet. I suggest an evening at the Old Globe Theater, which was just rebuilt after an arsonist burned it down 4 years ago. There's always action on stage. Next, I'd head for the ritzy section of La Jolla and jazz at the Blue Parrot. Finally, have a laugh. A few blocks away is San Diego's branch of the Comedy Store. Sunday night is amateur night.
My earliest memory of Dad was just showing me how to work the childproof top on a medicine bottle.
So that's San Diego. Its boats and its beaches, its beautiful water and beautiful scenery.
This is John Buchan for Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
For a booklet with more information, send your name, address, and $1 for postage and handling to Channel 7 Travel Guide, San Diego Edition, Box A, Hollywood, California, 90027.
On a wonderful night like tonight, good things are worth repeating, and that is what we're going to do right now. If you like scores for the home front, we've got them. Lakers, remember that? 116 to 140, in what Ted Dawson said, without a doubt, the best basketball game he has ever seen. We saw that. And if you don't like that, how about Oregon State? 72 to 58 over UCLA. Don't like the outcome, huh? Okay, but you got it.
I want to hear you do the weather in tongues. Come on. Come on, Jared. You got 7 more seconds to do
All
it.
right. Here you go. Huh?
There it is. That's Eyewitness News for now.
Good night.
Good night.
Channel 7, KABC-TV, Los Angeles. Owned by American Broadcasting Companies, Incorporated, with studios and executive offices at ABC Television Center. KABC-TV operates on Channel 7 by the authority of the Federal Communications Commission. Be with us on Channel 7 when we return to the air at 7 this morning with Super Friends. In the meantime, we invite you to tune to KABC Radio, 79 on your AM dial. And now, with the playing of our national anthem, this is Len Beardsley with our thought for the day. John Charlton Calhoun said, "The secret of success in life is known only to those who have not succeeded." And bidding you a good morning for the entire staff of KABC TV.
Slipped the surly bonds of earth and danced the skies on laughter's silvered wings. Sunward I've climbed and joined the tumbling mirth of sun-split clouds and done 100 things you have not dreamed of. Wheeled and soared and swung high in the sunlit silence, hovering there I've chased the shouting wind along and flung my eager craft through footless halls of air. Up the long, delirious, burning blue. I've topped the windswept heights with easy grace, where never lark nor even eagle flew. And while with silent, lifting mind, I've trod the high, untrespassed sanctity of space, put out my hand and touched the face